So many conversations to be had today at our summit at, of course, the PA Data Center and Energy Innovation Summit. Say that 10 times fast. I've been doing it all day long. And we're talking with EOS. We have Michelle Buczkowski hanging out with us on our panel with the Empire of Lights. And EOS is making a ton of headlines in Pittsburgh. I know I personally am so excited for what you guys are doing around battery technology. And I can't wait to learn just a little bit more about it. I know our listeners are. So thanks for hanging out with me today.
Awesome. We're glad to be here. And we are super glad to be in Pittsburgh, too. I think I had mentioned on the panel earlier today, we think Pittsburgh has all of the right ingredients for us to build and scale new innovation, innovative tech, the right talent, the right workforce that exists here, the right schools and universities to help us out with research, the right space. So we're in what feels like the energy capital of the country right now in southwestern PA, for sure.
When you see those numbers at the beginning of the event, that we are literally pumping out energy, you're like, I never even knew, and that how much we're actually exporting, and the fact that we can do more. But the key part of this is being able to store some of that energy. And what I've learned over the past year or so around this is keeping the load level and how batteries play a massive role in that. Tell us more about how, like an EOS product, how a battery works like at a data center. And I know they come on like a truck-sized container, which is pretty cool.
For now.
Yeah.
For now, we have a new form factor as well. So for energy storage and EOS, we build everything from scratch, which is different than incumbent technologies now. So we have a plant in Turtle Creek where we take raw materials and we make the battery. And we take each of those individual batteries and we pack them into a 22-foot storage container for now. And that's what's set out next to data centers or anywhere on the grid. And there are really a couple of key applications for energy storage that are critically important to the energy load that we're seeing today. So you can use energy storage, especially long duration like ours. Long duration is anything over that 4-hour mark.
Okay.
Our battery loves to cycle somewhere between 8 and 16 hours. That's when you're going to get the best utilization of our tech, which is a little bit different than the current technologies that are being used out in the field now. So we see a differentiation there and also a different use case than other technologies. With that, you can take our storage and put it next to an existing generating asset. And we don't care if it's a brown electron or a green electron. It can come from gas, it can come from solar, it can come from wind, it can come from coal.
I love that.
Right?
As long as it's an electron.
As long as it's an electron, we'll take it.
It'll store in your battery.
But what ends up happening is that as congestion occurs on the grid, you have to shut down those generating assets. If you have a battery next to it, we can keep those electrons being produced 24 hours a day.
Efficiency.
Right. And then just deploy them later. For a data center specifically, in some cases, they're being asked to bring their own power, right? So if they have to build and generate their own power, they're going to need to store that if they're not using it all the time. And then one of the key elements of a data center and one of the challenges around power and a data center is that they have inferencing. And so when you hear people talk about the load can fluctuate drastically 4 times a second.
When I heard that, I was like, oh my God, like literally 4 times. A switch is going off and on 4 times a second.
In a second. And so the only way to solve for that is to pump your electrons through a battery because a battery is always ready. So instantly, and our batteries can respond in less than 5 milliseconds. Wow. So we are ready.
You can do 4 times a second.
We're capable.
That's no problem for you guys. I love it.
Responding to that inference, and we've seen that in our testing on data center loads as well. So we're ready to go. And that's one way that a data center can use it, but utilities can use us anywhere you need additional reliability
storage
or resilience.
And so forth. Yeah. So tell me about the battery itself. I think it's very unique in the fact that you can stack these guys. They don't produce as much heat and all that type of stuff.
Yes.
Tell me about some of that, what makes them really special for these types of spaces.
Awesome. We are a zinc technology. So we are like a salt water that has zinc and bromine in it. So think of just like your car battery, a lead acid battery. Yeah. Ours look kind of like that. It's a container that has bipolars inside of it. The bipolars are made of conductive plastic and graphitized felt. Nice. As that zinc bromine goes into that battery, when it's charged, the zinc plates to the plastic, the bromine goes into the felt. When it's discharged, they come back together in a chemical reaction. It creates a tiny bit of heat and a whole bunch of energy, and that's how the battery works. But because it is water, essentially, it's not flammable.
Oh my goodness.
And it also, you don't see the heat that you see with other incumbent technologies, and we don't have any thermal runaway. So you can put our technology next to people and next to big buildings.
Exactly.
And so it's a totally different use case with our technology than some others as well.
That is amazing. It goes to show you how innovation is solving so many problems.
It is.
And doing it safely, like that to me is just so cool.
And that's what allows us to stack it, because there isn't a risk of a thermal event. We've redesigned our form factor. So I told you about the 22-foot storage container.
There's a smaller one.
There is. We now have, we call it our in-density core. It is like a 5.5-foot square. Think of it like that. You can pick up with a forklift. So no longer needing cranes, maintenance in the field becomes a lot easier. We can just pull out a core, bring it back to the shop, swap you out a new one, and you keep running your energy as you need it.
Great stuff. I'll let you go. I know you're super busy, but thanks for hanging out with me.
Thanks
EOS in Pittsburgh, doing what you do at the data center event.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Michelle.
Great forum.
You're the best.
All
Hey,
right.
in case you forgot, this is Jonathan Kirsting with the Pittsburgh Technology Council and Tech Vibe, all powered by Comcast today.